Avowed features a literal ton of unique weapons and armor, each with their own passive buffs that you can weave into a desired playstyle. However, unless you know where to look, it's possible you'll miss the best gear for your build. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today I'm sharing some of the best early game unique weapons and armor for warriors. My goal today is to point you towards as many early game unique items as I can, focusing on ones that provide the best value for players that want to build a warrior. All of these items can be found or purchased in Dawnshore, the first major zone, and will set you up for success as you enter into the later parts of the game. Each of these items are a building block, and some of the gear would even work well across multiple builds. It really all depends on your playstyle. That being said, for the sake of clarity, I'm going to keep this simple. When it comes to playing a warrior, you're going to want some solid melee weapons, but maybe you prefer a sword and board. Luckily, you can find both in Dawnshore. Easily one of my favorite early game weapons in Avowed, the Last Light of Day, is a unique one-handed sword you get by defeating Sargamas, a godlike boss that you can choose to fight and kill as part of the Dawn Shredder quest. This is actually one of the first longer quest lines in the game and starts when you talk to Offric inside of Paradis, located here. Once you have the quest, you'll want to follow it through until you eventually reach Sargamas, who comes across as friendly to start. This quest has multiple endings, but for the sake of getting the Last Light of Day, our only objective is to fight the godlike and kill him. You can either choose a hostile dialogue option or blow up his machine. The choice is really up to you, but either way he'll attack and you'll need to defeat him. Once defeated, you can pick up your prize, the Last Light of Day, a one-handed sword. Its enchantment is Golden Sun's Ascent, which restores 3% of your maximum health when defeating an enemy. It also has the passive effect Dawn's Remembrance, which empowers each hit with a 10% bonus to fire damage. Remember, every unique weapon in the game has an enchantment, which you can augment back at camp, choosing between one of two options to further augment its power. Remember, this choice is permanent, so be certain of your selection. There are two interesting unique shields that you can pick up during the first leg of your journey in Avowed, and we'll start with Unflinching Duty, which is almost impossible to miss. One of the first quests you'll complete as part of the main story quest is called Message from Afar, which takes you to the northwest part of Dawnshore. There, you'll encounter what will most likely be your first major boss, the Dreamthrall Elder Brown Bear. Once defeated, you can safely loot the area around the arena, and there, on the corpse of a dead soldier, is Unflinching Duty. This unique shield has two passive effects. The first is Lesser Glancing Strikes, which gives you a 5% chance to avoid taking melee damage. The second is Lesser Peak Conditioning, which gives you plus 20 to your maximum stamina. The second unique shield can actually be purchased right in Paradis, the main city within Dawnshore. You do have to head to the upper section of the city, which is technically a different zone, but there you'll find Sansa's makeshift emporium located here. Sansa sells Beetle's Bulwark for the low price of 450 sterling. This also has two passive effects. First is Unlikely Ally. While below 75% maximum health, a successful parry summons a beetle to fight alongside you. Second is Lesser Burn Proofed, which increases your resistance to fire accumulation by 20%. If you want beefier weapons when going out to explore Avowed, then there are two excellent early game choices, both of which you can get with technically no combat. This is what I love about games like this. There are small loopholes that just allow for more freedom, which I've always enjoyed about open and semi-open world role-playing games. The first weapon is called the Philosopher's Riddle, and you can find it here at the highest point atop this island off the southern coast of Dawnshore in an area called Castle's Folly. You can get to the island by jumping across this makeshift bridge, which is far easier than it sounds. Once you get to the island, you'll want to work your way to the west end, where you'll see a tower. Climb the tower using the terrain, and at the top will be the sword sticking out of the ground. The Philosopher's Riddle features two effects. Its enchantment is called Aggressive Debate. When you attack with a full combo, you receive plus 15 attack speed for 10 seconds. The passive effect, Poison Lash, grants you a plus 10% bonus to poison damage. The second two-handed weapon is called 7 Strivings, an axe that you can find near the Ralga bounty boss. This will take you far north to an area called the Falls. This encampment is crawling with Zorops, so while it is possible to get this without fighting, it's going to be tough. In the far back of the camp, you'll find Ralga. You don't have to kill him to get this weapon, just sneak off to the right side of the cave, and there, between two patches of tall grass, you'll see the axe sticking out of a dead Zara. This weapon features two effects. The enchantment, Determined Step, grants plus 15% move speed for 10 seconds whenever you kill an enemy. The passive effect, Vicious Strikes, increases your critical hit chance by 5%. There are a number of armor pieces as well as accessories I think every Avowed warrior needs to know about. These are going to range from defensively focused to more offensively focused, and not all will fit your playstyle, but that's why I'm giving you options. We'll start with the entire steel Garrote set, which comprises the plate armor, boots, and gauntlets. The first piece, the steel Garrote plate, is arguably the hardest to get as it's deep within the ruinous cave located here. This is the location to reach the bounty boss Nasib, a large spider. The steel Garrote plate is actually on a dead Adiran soldier in the middle of this encounter area. Once you clear the spiders, you can easily claim your prize. The steel Garrote plate has two passive effects. First is Balance Scales. When taking damage greater than 25% of your maximum health, your attacker receives 50% of that damage back. There's also Fit, which gives you +1 to your Constitution attribute. The second item, the steel Garrote boots, can be found west of Paradise, deep in the heart of a Zarup camp. You can opt to kill all of these enemies or run quickly to the destination and scoop up the gear. The choice is entirely yours. The steel Garrote boots are found here on the body of a dead Adiran soldier, next to one of the camp's many tents. The boots have two effects. First is a +5 to carry capacity. The second is Fit, which increases your Constitution by 1. The final steel Garrote item, the Gauntlets, are found just outside of Paradise on the southeastern side, right next to the walls. Here you'll find an area that's overrun with spiders and cobwebs. Clear out the enemies and then use Kai's fire ability or a fire grenade to clear the cobwebs and reveal a small cave. Inside is another dead soldier and the steel Garrote gauntlets. These have two effects. The first increases your parry efficiency by 10%, which I assume means extending your parry window. The second perk is Lesser Peak Conditioning, which grants you +20 to maximum stamina. There's one more armor set and one ring I want you all to be aware of. Both are offensively focused, and if you're going for an all-out brawler build, these are excellent choices. First is Stelgaer's Pride. This is actually the reward for solving the intimidating feline codpiece treasure map, and thus is actually pretty hard to find if you don't know where to look. But don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. To find this, you'll need to travel to the far east side of Dawnshore. Just north of the Yellow Band camp and slightly south of Watcher's Mirror is a lower section that's actually underneath the Watcher's Mirror area. It's tucked away, which is what makes it hard to spot, but the prize is well worth it. Stelgaer's Pride is a medium set of armor providing slightly less damage reduction, but with it comes two awesome passive effects. First is Bloodied Fury. Whenever you take damage worth more than 30% of your maximum health, you cast Barbaric Shout. This is a warrior active ability that interrupts enemies, empowers you against larger foes, and makes your weapon uninterruptible while dealing higher stun. It's a fantastic effect that works in harmony with the next item. The second effect is Lesser Relentless, which increases your stamina regeneration by 5%. The second item I want to talk about that works in tandem with this armor set is the Band of Transcendent Suffering. This can be found in the water canal here, right in the center of Paradise. Dive underwater and loot the chest to claim this unique ring. When equipped, you'll gain plus 35% melee damage and minus 100% damage reduction. Yes, this ring makes you a melee glass cannon, which works if you consider that the Stelgaer's Pride effect only works if you take damage worth more than 30% of your maximum health. It's a precarious combination, don't be fooled, and you really have to learn to play on a knife's edge, but it's an awesome option if you like to live dangerously with a mind for offensive melee firepower. So there you have it, 10 incredible, unique items that every Avowed warrior can pick up early. If this guide helped you and you want more videos like this in your feed, hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing. We'll have more Avowed videos coming your way, so don't miss out. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.